Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Tony, and this is my dog, DJ. I am in Louisville, Ohio, at a cheese plant. Just delivered Wisconsin-made cheese out here to this plant. So I had a little fun with a People's Court video. Somebody that appeared on People's Court that, well, maybe have a little bit of a criminal background. I found another guy that appeared on the People's Court and still up to the same shenanigans. His name is Raymond Scura, and he's from Staten Island. And I'm just going to talk about him, show all the different articles. He's gotten into quite a bit of trouble, and then I will show you the episode of the People's Court. Apparently he got out of jail and wound up being sued on the People's Court. So I will show clips from that too. So if you go on Google and you put Raymond Scura's name in there, here's the very first story that pops up. It's Department of Justice government. Staten Island man sentenced to 96 months in prison for robbery. This was in 2020. Here's a couple pictures of him. One shows up on Twitter, another's on Meet Me. And then those are all of him. This FBI picture, apparently, that appears on a story. Here's another one on a Facebook story, a Courier Post. Raymond Scura, a 29-year-old Staten Island man, was arrested with more than $23,000 cash on him at a casino in Atlantic City. Here's another one. New York man in 2020. New York man prison bound for defrauding 8 New Jersey businesses. And he passed fraudulent checks and used stolen credit cards to purchase limo rides, rent exotic cars, and buy a Rolex watch. And here's another one. Crime spree toll on Marlton Shops, Mount Laurel County Club. Raymond Scura bought a $52,000 Rolex watch with a bad check and then came for more. And here's another one where Raymond Scura, this was in 2020, 31, lived the high life at the expense of others, including a Mount Laurel Country Club membership and 2 Marlton merchants who were ripped off by him. I wanted to make sure that I had the right guy, and this was a picture that appeared in one of the articles on the left, and then this is a picture on the right that's of him as he appeared in the People's Court. And yeah, I would say that they yeah, it's the same guy. I mean, the eyebrows look identical, the nose, especially the mouth. He almost has that pouty mouth, like he's a spoiled little baby. But yeah, that's the same guy. So I thought maybe I'd take a look at some of the stories, because each story kind of shared an interesting little tidbit on their own about this man. This was by the Department of Justice, the U.S. Attorney's Office. I mean, you know you're really getting into trouble when you get the Department of Justice going after you. Let's see. So he's sentenced to 96 months in prison for robbery, identity theft, and defrauding numerous women and businesses. He was a Staten Island, New York man. He was sentenced today to 96 months in prison for robbing a New Jersey business owner in February of 2019 and defrauding 8 New Jersey businesses from 2016 to 2019, and defrauding and stealing the identities of 3 women. So Raymond Scura, 31, previously pleaded guilty in a Newark federal court to information charging him with wire fraud and aggravated identity theft and Hobbs Act robbery. Basically, Scura used bad checks and stolen credit cards to obtain luxurious goods and services such as country club memberships, limousine services, luxury hotel expenses, exotic car rentals, and a Rolex watch in order to appear wealthy and obtain the confidence of his victims, who were usually women. Once he convinced his victims of his purported wealth, he would then steal their identities and credit cards to make additional purchases. As a result of his fraud and aggravated identity theft offenses, Scura caused losses to individuals and businesses in excess of $250,000. In 2019, he was a customer of an internet-based business owned and operated by a New Jersey man. To pay for the services of the business, he wrote one fraudulent check to the victim. When the victim insisted on cash payment, Scura drove with the business owner to a bank where he brandished a gun, threatened to kill the victim, and demanded that the victim deposit a fraudulent check for $10,000 in the victim's bank account and then withdraw $10,000 and then give him the money. Unbelievable. In addition to the prison term, Scura was also, it seems like he really got off light for doing. I mean, he I thought they had pretty strict gun laws in New York over there. I mean, he held the guy at gunpoint and made him, basically robbed him of $10,000. And then what? He only gets 3 years of supervised release, and he served what was it, 36 months in prison, I think, something like that. He 96 months in prison. So you got 96 months in prison. Yeah, so that's what, about maybe 5 years. And this was back in 2019. Obviously, he didn't serve that whole time because he wound up on the People's Court in, I think it was 2022. So that's like 4 years later. So here's a story right here. Staten Island man goes to federal penitentiary for bilking New Jersey businesses, robbing SS merchant at gunpoint. He's, right here the article says he has to spend the next 8 years in federal prison. Yeah, he didn't serve 8 years. And he stole the identities of 3 men and robbed a merchant at gunpoint. So he lived the high life. Raymond Scura, 31, lived the high life at the expense of others, including a Mount Laurel country club and 2 Marlton merchants who were left with worthless check and account information stolen from unwilling victims. He also splurged on luxury limo services, luxury hotels, and exotic car rentals. And then things got violent when he forced a business owner to take $10,000 in cash at gunpoint, threatening to kill him and his family. He said it was to appear wealthy and obtain the confidence of victims, who were usually women. Once he convinces women of his purported wealth, he would then steal their identities and credit cards to make additional purposes. 8 businesses in all were defrauded. And as a result of his fraud and aggravated identity theft offenses, he had caused losses to individuals and businesses in excess of $25,000. His purchases included nearly $20,000 in country club fees, a $52,000 Rolex watch, and nearly $3,000 worth of alcohol from a Marlton wine shop on Christmas in 2016. The Rolex purchase tripped him up because a day later, Scura contacted a store manager and asked to buy 2 more watches. And then when the check was bad, That's what police were called in, and they found him at an Atlantic City casino, where the New Jersey police arrested him there at the casino. Yeah, he also liked to gamble. So that's probably where he was carrying more than $23,000 in cash. And then he was at it again following his release from custody, where he pulled a gun on a owner of that internet business. Don't tell anybody or I'll go to your house and kill you and your family. Wow. Yeah, this guy. So he took a deal from the government rather than go to trial, and he pleaded guilty to wire fraud and aggravated identity theft, and he must serve just about all of the bargain sentence handed down. Well, obviously, there's no parole in the federal system. Well, obviously, he didn't serve it, because in 2022, he appeared on the People's Court again. So, well, let's take a look at his appearance.
He says he was contracted to do some landscaping for the defendant. Did a great job and has pictures to prove it. The defendant handed him a check with a full amount, even gave him a tip, and guess what? The check was made of rubber and was returned for insufficient funds. When he called the defendant to inquire, the pretend tough guy told him he was with the mafia and to bug off. Bug off, he doesn't think so. He's suing the strange guy for every penny of the $1,820 he's owed.
You know, that was something I noticed in reading the other articles, too. There were people that claimed that Raymond liked to tell people that he was with the mafia. So I don't think this guy is out of line at all. I think he's telling the truth when he said that.
This is the defendant, Raymond Scura. He says the plaintiff's work was horrible, and when he showed up at his house to collect his pay, his nephew wrote him a check on a closed account he had. If he were home, he would have never paid the guy in the first place, because he's a hack whose work stunk, and he absolutely refuses to pay someone when they do such a horrible job. He's accused of making a check go boing, boing, boing. All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Richard Rinaldo,
Your Honor.
you are suing Raymond Scura for $1,820 in a check that he gave you that had insufficient funds, or had to stop payment?
It bounced.
It bounced, just regular old bouncing. Okay, tell me what happened.
He had contacted me to originally cut the grass. I had cut the grass probably twice. He was impressed with the job. He then asked me to prune the bushes and also lay some mulch. Take out the
Prune the bushes and lay some mulch?
Yeah.
Square feet.
Okay. Nice house.
Thank you.
So you did the mulch where all of the plantings are?
Oh, actually, I do have plenty, Tex.
Okay, go ahead and put the phone down. You did the mulch where all of the plantings are?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and did you do it alone, or did you do it with somebody?
I had one helper.
Is this your truck that's on the property?
Yes, ma'am. My truck, my trailer, 2 trailers.
All right. So how long did it take you to do the mulch?
It was like a 2-day job.
Okay. And how much of you had to buy the mulch, right?
Yes,
In other words, a 13, 15.
So this was the property that this gentleman had done the work at, and you know, he's such a fake guy, this Raymond Scura. You know, he tries to make it like originally to the judge, you know, trying to impress the judge like it's his property. And then later in the trial, we find out it was his girlfriend's property. That's what he's saying. Or maybe it was some girl he was trying to scam. I don't know, you know, because, you know, that's what he does. And then apparently they, I don't know, broke up. And then, you know, he bounced a check because, you know, he's paying for work done at his girlfriend's place. And I don't know. You can't keep the story straight. And then he was saying that he had a nephew that he left checks with at the property that was supposed to write the checks.
I leave for the city. Can you be there at 10:30, or I'll meet you on a job wherever you are? I'm leaving the city at 9, yada, yada, yada. That's him?
Yes.
and you tell him, okay, Ray, I really need that by tomorrow, bud. Drive safe. What are you referring to?
The money.
Because he's still saying he's going to pay you.
Yes.
You got it. Don't worry. And then you're supposed to meet him at the Stop and Shop. What happens?
I went
Oh,
there.
you waited.
Oh, I waited.
I can tell by your text. He doesn't answer you. You're like, where are you? I'm waiting. It goes on and on for hours. And then he just never answers you. Okay. What happened?
He laid the mulch. It was raining. We were in my garage. I had one of my garages open. We're sitting there talking. I offered to pay him like he stated. He refused to take the money. He did his job. Several times we were supposed to meet up. I couldn't meet him like I told him I was going to meet him. I didn't meet him.
Wait. There's a check that bounced. You skipped that part. What happened
The
there?
check bounced because May 27th, I was leaving for Jamaica, Montego Bay. My girlfriend's nephew, I leave checks at home signed. He wrote the check out. My girlfriend's nephew. I didn't write the check out. He wrote the
Did
check.
he write it at your request?
Did he write it at my request?
What, are you stalling for time? Did I stutter? You know what I said.
No, he didn't write it. I was on the telephone.
Stop.
You're on the telephone.
Stop. Don't talk to him.
Welcome back to the People's Court, Army 11 here. So, should you penalize somebody?
And then you let them sign.
Okay.
What? Did it when you were finished?
So he wrote out the check, gave him the check bounced. It was from an account I really don't use. The check ended up bouncing. I was going to make good on the check. I never got around to meeting Richie.
Why not?
I was busy.
That's your defense? I was busy?
My fault. Then he came. I have a condo in Manhattan. My girlfriend owns this house in Orange County.
So that's not your house?
No, it's not my house. My girlfriend owns the house in Orange County. I'm not home. I'm getting phone calls at 6 in the morning from my girlfriend. Richie's banging on the front door. He's banging.
Yeah, but he wasn't banging on the front door till you left him at a Stop and Shop for 2 hours.
Correct.
Why didn't you show up for the designated drop at the Stop and
I
Shop?
have no excuse for that, Your Honor.
You didn't even answer the guy's text. You just left him there for 2 hours.
I have no excuse for that.
Did you threaten him?
No, I didn't threaten this man.
Tell me about his threats.
Yeah, I finally got a hold of him on the phone, and all of a sudden he wanted to play Mr. Mafioso.
How so?
Richie,
laugh
don't
it
talk
up,
to me
Mafia
like
boy.
that. You don't know who you're dealing with here. I got connections and da-da-da-da-da.
Are you Italian?
Yeah,
That was a very good accent.
Never.
I was laughing at the guy.
Okay, I'm sorry. You wouldn't talk about it on the phone.
No, never. I wouldn't talk
Just
like
not
that.
on the
I wouldn't
phone.
talk like that in
Because
person.
you never know who's listening.
Talking like that right now.
It's disgusting.
Go on.
I was outburst here in court. I wasn't showing that. So I laughed at him, and I was a little upset. I wanted my money. And I told him, just pay me my money. You won't have to hear
And
from
now
me.
does it seem like a good idea to get paid when somebody has a wad of cash on
Yeah,
them
sure.
and before they go into hard times and get... Oh, you're no longer living in that house? Did your girlfriend throw you out?
Did she throw me out? No, she didn't throw me out, Your Honor.
Did you leave?
It's fine.
That was no longer your house.
I go back and forth.
You go back and forth. Do you go back? Have you been back
You're
since?
such a liar.
Okay.
I was there this morning.
Okay.
I was there this morning. What?
Pay the bills.
Do you?
Yeah.
It looks like you didn't pay this
No, I
bill.
pay the bills.
No, he pays all his bills, Your Honor.
I'm sorry?
He pays all his bills. That's why we're here.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me see the invoice that you sent him. How did the 13... I'm also going to order him to pay you of course, your court costs and any prejudgment statutory interest on that sum since the day that the check was written. Good luck, gentlemen.
Don't wink at me, buddy.
Yeah.
You're a joke.
Yeah. Okay, so that takes care of this case. The judges ruled, and what's your reaction to the outcome here?
KLS, a jerk off. That's my action. Have a nice day.
All right. What about your side of it?
I got my money. I got what was owed to me.
What's this been like?
It's been a roller coaster. It's been a headache. You have somebody that shows you all kinds of money, and they're good with it, and all of a sudden they slap you in the face. It's a hard pill to
No
swallow.
concerns coming into court and doing it this way?
No, I'm actually glad I did it this way. So it is what it is.
Okay.
I got my money because I'm getting my money.
Okay. Harvey? Okay, so you think 100%'s...
So that was Mr. Raymond Scura, everybody. He lost his case in the People's Court for bouncing a bad check. This guy has a history of doing that. And it's very rare to find, somebody that appears in the People's Court that, has a history of doing bad things. Especially if you're a scammer, you would think that you would not, you would think you would not want to put your face on TV so millions of other people could see you. But that's probably exactly why the landscaper did what he did. You know, he's like, hey, I'm going to put you on TV, and, you know, now everybody's going to know who you are, because a lot of people do watch that show. And he's, you know, I mean, you know, he's got quite the name, especially in New York. You know, you're not going to want to take a check from the guy. And better watch your credit cards, too, that he doesn't steal your information. You know, it just looks like the guy hasn't learned. The guy's still, you know, and it looks like he didn't even serve all his jail time. He was supposed to get, what, like 8 years or something, you know, and he's, you know, he was in there 2019, and he's back in the people's court in 2022, so I don't even know what's going on with our system, you know, and he's out there still bouncing bad checks and trying to act like a big shot, you know, I don't know what that house was, if it was a rental property, his girlfriend's place, who knows, you know, and then he's trying to say, I own a condo, and I went to vacation, and what was it, Montego Bay or whatever, I don't even know where he went, you know, but, you know, you could tell he just, you know, trying to act like, and then he, you know, calls the guy a jerk off, you know, and he's the one that wrote the bad check. So, you know, the guy that sued him, you know, is the jerk off, you know, because he wrote the bad check. You know, he just, you know, I would love it if you'd see an episode where, you know, yeah, the guy, you know, we all make mistakes. We all screw up. We all do bad things, you know, but you learn and you try to do better, you know, be a better person. I would love to see that just once, you know, so you see somebody that turned their life around. And learn their lessons, but no, you know, not Mr. Raymond Scura. No, that didn't happen. So, well, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and you know, I'll keep watching the People's Court, and who knows, maybe I'll find another one if I do find someone that's interesting, has an interesting backstory. I'll do another video like this. But all right, I gotta get to work. DJ, you want to say bye? Bye, reporter. So, all right, Wisconsin Hogs. Adios. I got to get to work. Bye.